Welcome to Dallas Social Cafe. I'm your host, D'Andra Simmons. In this episode, I meet with my friend Dee Lincoln at her steak bar, where executive chef Andrew Powers dishes up steak, wine, and dessert. We talk with Caryl Stern, President and CEO of Unicef, at the Children's First Gala, and I meet Youth of the Year Emily Robinson, along with Charles English, President and CEO of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Dallas. Today, I'm visiting with Andrew Powers at Dee Lincoln Steak Bar, and we're going to talk some food. Welcome, Andrew.
Well, thanks for having me. How are you today?
I'm hungry, so I think that's a good thing.
Well, you came to the right place. You came to the right place.
Anytime is a good time for steak in my mind.
That's right.
Let's talk a little bit about Dee Lincoln Steak Bar. It's one concept, which I love. It's one shop, one concept, one store.
Yes, ma'am.
And it's in Plano, Texas.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
I'm going to talk a little bit later with Dee about why she came up with this concept. But I really want to know about the food, because I love food, and I want to know how you came up with the menu and how you choose what's on the menu and what we have here.
Okay. Well, this is a really good concept. You know, it's in Dee's backyard. You know, she's been in Plano for a number of years, and we just thought that it was fitting to have a Dee Lincoln Steak Bar in Plano. The menu is really focused on prime steaks.
Mm-hmm.
That is our forte, and that's what Dee is known for, and that's what we try to strive for, the best steaks that we could actually possibly offer to our guests. And that's what we have here. We have a 22-ounce bone-in, prime, 45-day dry aged. It is a wonderful piece of meat. A lot of people kind of like to call it meat-flavored butter, so if that can kind of get your mouth watering for that. The rest of the menu is all chef-driven. It's a lot of chef-driven appetizers. We do fresh seafood daily. We have a catch of the day daily that we change. We do fresh soups. And we have a very eclectic sides on our menu as well. Today we're going to try Lobster Mac and Cheese, which is fresh lobster meat that is tossed with smoked Gouda cream and a ballerina pasta. And we're also going to try one of our signature sides, which is chorizo corn.
Well, let's stop talking about it and let's taste it.
Let's taste it.
Let's get to it.
All right. Give you some lobster mac here.
Okay.
So we take smoked Gouda and then we just melt it with a little bit of cream, salt and pepper, and a little butter. And very simple. A lot of the dishes that we have here are simple but good.
And this is the chorizo corn.
Chorizo corn.
Which, like I said, I've never heard of, and I'm excited to taste that as
it's
well.
It's actually one of our signature dishes here at Dee Lincoln. Now we're going to cut into this. This is something that we feature on the weekends on the board. And so a lot of people come back Friday and Saturdays to have it. We'll have it throughout the week, but we usually like to showcase it on the weekends.
So as we're eating, let's talk a little bit about what goes on at the chef's table and the community table. There's not very many restaurants in Dallas that do that, so that's a very unique concept itself.
Yeah, that's actually a unique concept that we really embraced when we got here. And we have a kitchen that is open, kind of like a show kitchen. You can actually watch us cook while you eat at the community table. And the community table is really nice because you can sit there with, your spouse or your significant other, and you can have other people that are sitting next to you so you can have a conversation. So it's kind of like being within the community. I think that's a really good concept where you can actually sit and you can have a conversation with another couple, and then you can, get to know each other. Also, we have what's called a chef's tasting table, which you're actually sitting right in front of the kitchen.
Now the steak, it's phenomenal. I mean, it needs nothing else. It just melts in your mouth. It's like butter. It's wonderful.
Well, that's what we strive for. We're really, our whole game is big, bold flavors, and you don't have to mask, with sauces and all this stuff. This is just true prime beef, salt and pepper, and it's just cooked to perfection. Okay,
so I just went in for the lobster mac and cheese. And what kind of noodle is this again?
And it's called a campanelli noodle.
With the Gouda. It's a nice touch. I love it.
Yep.
Okay, now I'm going to try the chorizo corn.
Chorizo corn? So it's got that saltiness to the chorizo?
That is really good.
Well, thank you.
Well, this is a wonderful little gym in Plano, and I know that Dee lives around this area, and that's why she wanted to put this in the neighborhood. And everybody who lives here is very lucky because I love your food, and I love Dee, of course. She's such a gracious
she is. She's
proprietor.
Yep.
So, and Andrew, it's so good to meet you. And thank you for sharing a meal with me today.
Well, thanks for coming
Because I'm going to finish all this,
I hope so. Thank you for having me.
Welcome. Today I'm visiting with my friend Dee Lincoln, and she's the proprietor of Dee Lincoln Steak Bar and all the Dee Lincoln concepts. And what I like about you, Dee, is that we've known each other for a long time, but you're a girl after my own heart. We can eat a steak at 11:30, I mean the size of a tomahawk basically, and have no problem with it.
No problem.
And then follow it up with some wine.
Now we got wine
and continue on with our day. So you love food as much as I do.
Absolutely. I knew I loved you the first day that you said you didn't eat fillets. It was all about ribeye.
That's right.
That kind of girl.
Well, let's talk about, this is a unique restaurant concept for you, and it's a one-stop shop. It's a one and done. So let's talk about why you put Dee Lincoln Steak Bar here in Plano, and what you were thinking with this concept.
Dee Lincoln Steak came about because I really wanted to give the neighborhood something that they could actually have all upscale food, prime steaks, great seafood, a commitment to, a little bit more diverse menu, kind of my version of a grill, but doing it in an atmosphere that had a hip little vibe, and that actually, you could come in on a Saturday night dressed up, or you could stop in on a Tuesday, enjoy prime rib, and be casual. Guys can come off the golf course. I mean, it's really was designed to be that comfortable neighborhood spot.
Now, walking around the restaurant, I kind of noticed something that I didn't know about before, which was the private room, the cellar. Yes. So let's talk about what you can do in that private room for special parties or things like that.
In the cellar, it can seat up to 14, and chef can either do a tasting menu, or he can just do great steaks right off of our menu. And it also has a really good soundproof situation to where you can really speak.
Well, it's a beautiful room, and since we're talking about wine, let's talk a little bit about the wines you offer here, because I didn't really cover that with Andrew at all. Tell us a little bit about what we can expect as far as if we love wine, what we can get here.
Well, that's the great thing about this little place is that we can do wines, and we have unbelievable selections from around the world. It's under $100. However, we are a steakhouse, and I am partial to California, but I do know you need a rounded list. So we have great Italian, we have good French, so we have nice position, Argentina, Chile, but we do have a lot of recognizable brands. So wines are important in any concept that I do, and especially for the educated diner like yourself that loves food, loves wine.
To wrap this up, I've got some chocolate sitting in front of me.
Got some chocolate sitting in front of you,
and that is food on the table.
Actually we make all of our desserts in house. So this is our chocolate mousse cake. So it's a chocolate cake with a house-made mousse and a homemade ganache. So that is one of the things that you can't go wrong with. We do a really great hot bread pudding, blueberry bread pudding. We also do cheesecake that has a strawberry sauce. We also do praline sauce with it. We have several desserts, and we try to change it up. With the spring coming, you'll see a key lime pie, and in fall you'll see red velvet and stuff. So we make all desserts in house as well. And so I say we just enjoy this little red wine and chocolate.
Cheers to you, and thank you for today.
Thank you.
Red wine and chocolate cake. I feel like I'm at Valentine's Day dinner here, and you're my date. Well, Dee, thank you so much. I mean, this has been an absolute pleasure. I always love visiting with you because not only are you a wonderful business person and philanthropist in the city, but you're also my friend. So
thank you, Jim.
Cheers to you and all your success and your
D'Andra.
future. Love you too. Today I'm visiting with Charles English. He's the president and CEO of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Dallas. Welcome, Charles. I'm so glad to have you on Dallas Social Cafe.
Thank you for having us. Glad to be here.
Well, I did a little reading about you, so I know that you're quite a volunteer as well for many years in the community, and I want to start by thanking you for that because volunteers really make a difference in the city of Dallas. And the Boys and Girls Club has been such a wonderful organization for 50 years. We have an anniversary now.
Absolutely.
So let's talk a little bit about the history of the Boys and Girls Club.
Well, nationally, it's a 100 years plus organization. Dallas got its charter back in 1965 with the start of the West Dallas Boys Club.
Okay.
And we look at some of the city leaders at that point in time, and they were encouraged by their spouses. They won't admit it, but they were encouraged to build a place for young boys living in the public housing area of West Dallas.
Okay.
And that was the first chartered boys club of Dallas. And then over the years, we grew, expanded, added more sites. And so from that one site to this very day, we have 14 club locations spanning Dallas County from Grand Prairie to Richardson and Mesquite, and all the others are within the city limits of Dallas.
Well, I had the pleasure of meeting with Emily Robinson this afternoon. I spoke with her. She's a dynamic young woman.
She's
the Youth of the Year.
Right.
And she just was so engaging, and obviously her experience at the Boys and Girls Club really is shaping her future as she goes into college and as she goes into decision making about what she wants to do for a career. And I really had a wonderful conversation with her, and she's a great example of where she started at 6 years old, coming in, and she told me she had behavioral problems, to where she is now going into hopefully a career in medicine after her undergraduate degree. So
well, we're very proud
congratulations
of her.
on that. So let's talk about, since we've talked about Emily, talk about some of the primary programs that you have to serve these youth in Dallas.
Well, when we talk about programs, we talk about programs that are very, very deliberate, very intentional, with outcome-driven measurements. We have 3 pillars of the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Dallas. Good character and citizenship, and primarily focused with teens, giving them opportunity to volunteer for community service. And we have healthy lifestyle. Healthy lifestyle is pretty much centered around that middle school age, the preteens, where they're exploring their interests, and sometimes they can make some not too good decisions. So we arm them with information in terms of recognizing that they're growing up into young adults, and we expose them to the hazards of experimenting with drugs and alcohol, and just behaviors that would not be very beneficial for their development.
Well, Charles, I appreciate you, what you're doing in the Dallas community, the greater Dallas community, and thank you for helping these kids and for creating brighter futures for them, not only for them, but for the whole city of Dallas, because as you know, paying it forward, it just kind of makes a ripple effect throughout our whole community, and it's wonderful for the entire city and the community of Dallas.
If you want to get in touch with us, you can call us 214-821-2950. Someone will be there to pick up, or you can go to our website, www.bgcdallas.org, and we invite you to look at all the number of programs that we have available for your youth.
Thank you so much for being with me today on Dallas Social Cafe.
Thank you for having us.
Today I'm speaking with Emily Robinson, and she is the Youth of the Year of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Dallas. Hi, Emily.
Hi.
Welcome to Dallas Social Cafe.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Well, I read a little bit about you, and you're quite an impressive young lady, actually, and you have a great future ahead of you. So tell me a little bit about how the Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Dallas really kind of shaped your past to prepare you for your future.
Okay, I've been a part of the Boys and Girls Club since I was 6 years old, and from the past I've always had behavior problems, so my mom thought the Boys and Girls Club would help me, like, take away my attitude and be a better, well-rounded little child. So I went to the Boys and Girls Club, I made new friends, and the staff at the Boys and Girls Club worked with me on coping with other people's problems and dealing with other children that have different viewpoints than mine.
So your involvement has been for several years then.
Yes.
And I know that you're interested in science in particular, and you hope to one day be a doctor.
Yes.
I was reading about that. So what year of school are you in right now?
I am in 12th grade.
In 12th grade. So tell me about your plans for next year.
I plan to attend Texas Tech University in the fall, and I want to do a pre-medicine track, starting off in sports medicine, and then do a minor in Spanish, because Spanish has always been close to my heart because I've always wanted to learn different cultures and such. And then when I go into medical school, I want to do an emphasis in orthopedics and become a pediatric orthopedics doctor.
Well, I know that the Boys and Girls Club now is having their 50th anniversary, and it's a big year for the Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Dallas. And I hope that you'll come back and be a part of the Boys and Girls Clubs in your future. I know that they have a really important event coming up soon, and that the speaker, Tisha White, I believe is her name, and she was involved with the Boys and Girls Clubs when she was growing up, and she's now come back and has been a really instrumental part of making it a continued success in Dallas. So I hope that you'll do the same thing.
Yes, I will, definitely.
I'm very proud of you, and I'm really excited about your future. And thank you for taking the time today to talk to us on Dallas Social Cafe.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Well, tonight I had the absolute pleasure of speaking with President and CEO Caryl Stern of Unicef USA. Caryl, welcome to Dallas Social Cafe.
Thank you, thank you.
I'll have to tell you, I'm almost shaking because I'm so excited. You are such, a mentor to me and someone that, a woman that women look up to, and I'm so honored to have this time with you, even though it's a few minutes, because I have followed you and read about you for many years, and for me, this is just a true highlight of my life to be able to talk to you.
That's sweet. Thank you so much.
So let's talk about tonight. Let's talk about UNICEF, and lots of people know UNICEF. I mean, I was familiar with UNICEF. However, until I really got involved with the organization this year, I didn't know that much about it. And UNICEF USA, tell us a little bit more about what it does and what you do.
Sure. Well, UNICEF around the globe basically is the organization that puts children first and does whatever it takes to save a child anywhere in the world. So UNICEF works in 190 countries and territories, and sometimes that may mean nutrition. It could be water and sanitation. It could be immunization. UNICEF immunizes over half the world's children right now. It could be education, and it could be child protection. It is really about making sure that every child gets the chance to have the childhood that he or she deserves.
It's about giving them a future and hope,
And
that's what you do, and that's why UNICEF is so important worldwide. So that's why I love this organization. Let's talk a little bit about Let Us Learn. Explain the Let Us Learn program.
Sure. Well, today, 58 million children in primary school age are out of school and should be in school. So those are schoolable kids who are not in school. Some of them because there's been an emergency, they're in a refugee camp, or they're en route to, or they're in a conflict zone. But in many cases, it's because the school just doesn't exist. Or it is because there may be a place to learn, but there aren't lavatory facilities for girls. There's no running water, there's no latrine. And so it's not a safe environment for a girl to go to. Let Us Learn is about making sure that every child gets access to school. And it works in particular in Afghanistan, in Bangladesh, Liberia, Madagascar, and Nepal. And it is about making sure that all the kids of elementary school age in those countries will have access to school. So in some cases, it is building the school.
Tonight we're honoring American Airlines, and this is our first annual Children's First Gala here in Dallas. And tell me a little bit about the partnership with American Airlines and Change is Good.
The American Airlines partnership is phenomenal. It's part of the Change for Good program, which is an international global program with a number of airlines, but American is the only one that does it here in the United States. Started with American in 1994, and what it is the airline personnel, the flight personnel, and it's voluntary, not mandated to do this. They make an announcement, a scripted announcement. They will sometimes show the UNICEF video, and then they go literally through the plane with a bag, and they invite passengers to put your change into the bag. So, you're coming back from another country, you have euros in your pocket, you have whatever other kind of money there might be, and here's your opportunity. You can't trade that in any way to drop it in the bag. And in 10 years, the American Airlines flight personnel have raised $10 million.
That's amazing.
By doing that. Isn't that awesome?
Well, I'm so glad that Dallas obviously is the home of American Airlines, that we're honoring them tonight. And I'm very excited to see what the future holds for UNICEF.
Well, thank you so much. We are really excited to see the Dallas community coming together around UNICEF. Dallas has always been a global city. It's a globally minded city. And the opportunity now to help focus that on the children of the world is really exciting to UNICEF.
Well, thank you for putting us on your map. And we hope to make you proud, and not only this year and the years to come. So we have some exciting announcements tonight I think you'll be thrilled about as well.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Caryl. I hope you enjoyed my time with Caryl Stern, the President and CEO of UNICEF. You stayed with us, and we'll be right back on Dallas Social Cafe. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and you can watch all of our episodes on YouTube. In the meantime, stay giving and grateful.